Hey guys, welcome to C Square Trading. I just wanted to make a video. I haven't made a video in so long. There's just so many things moving, and I just kind of wanted to go over what's going on. So I was just on the phone with a guy that I've been helping out and teaching. He's doing a good job and starting to learn a lot. But basically, I wanted to look at some of the patterns that I'm seeing in the market, and I'm just feeling inspired about teaching. And so let me show you guys what I'm seeing. So on Facebook, obviously the stock is going up, so that's one thing I'm a huge fan of. If a stock is going down, I'm not usually a fan of it because every pop is sold off. So pops up here, sells off, pops up here, sells off, pops up here, just gets pile driven lower. So I don't like that unless we come across a stock that has a really, really long multi-month base. So one of the ones that I've been kind of eyeballing is this Yuma. So that's kind of what that pattern looks like. It doesn't matter about the stock. I'm not advising you to buy and sell anything. I am just showing you chart patterns. And so here's the stock with, this nice long tight base in here. And then the stock just ripped up today, and you can see that volume is a record level volume. So if you look at this stock, obviously it's been coming down, but what I like to look at is see how that trend is now broken right there in that area. So it's now had a very long time to base. So that's what I love seeing, is these good long bases after this broken trend line that we drew on that really long chart. So that's one thing. If you're going to trade a downtrending stock, that's kind of what to look for. This stock has earnings today. I'm just going to watch it. It's fun to watch. It's a penny stock. They can go crazy. King Digital is a little bit different. They IPO'd back here. They're kind of flat, so that's not technically down. The stock had earnings today. They beat on a couple things, but then they missed on a couple things, and they gave bad guidance. But the stock collapsed after hours and has picked all the way back up to the top. Another thing that I was looking at is Facebook, and one thing that I look for is I look for stocks that have like these really strong days. So the first part of this pattern is a big breakout. So here's your breakout over that level. Then after it has its breakout over this period, which in this case is the 30-minute chart, we can go to a 15-minute chart, it doesn't matter. As long as the period you're looking at, it broke out in big volume. So here's a decreasing volume pullback, and the stock has come back. So I love seeing these stocks come back on light volume like that, because it means that they are finally putting in a base. And that base is very important because it can move off of that base very quickly. So if we zoom into a daily chart, you can see here's a big candle and an inside day, and possibly we get an extension back up. And I always look to the left to see what's at the right. I've heard that said on Twitter, I think by a lady, Trade on the Fly, I believe, but very, very good saying. I have a different saying where I always say, look at the left for support and resistance in order to measure out to the right where your next support and resistance will be. But it's a little bit easier to say, look to the left to see what's going to happen to the right. So that's very good advice from, I believe it's Trade on the Fly on Twitter. She's a very good teacher. But anyways, there is this, resistance up here at 83. And you've got this stock kind of hanging out at 80.40. Now that round number 80 right there is a little bit of support, but in general, it's trying to hold this support here. So it probably could turn up, and it might go up to 82, 83. You never know. But the point is, it's this pattern. This pattern repeats itself all the time. If you look at something like Netflix, for example, the other day, you've got this stock right here. Here's a huge day. The next few days are inside days. It's that pullback off a big move, because they're trying to consolidate and find an area of rest. And here's the big volume, and then you see the drop in volume, and then the consolidation, and then the breakout. Today there was good news on Netflix. They said they're going to go into China. So, guys, when you have one-day stocks like ONTY today, these things are going crazy because of, I believe there's like a conference, ASCO conference going on or something. And so one thing that I like to look for is looking for these intraday moves. And obviously, look, this is the same pattern. The stock goes up and then it pulls back on light volume to about halfway before it can go higher. So you can see it literally pulls right back down to some morning support there at 250, which, look at that, happens to be a round number at 250. And you got a little bit of volume coming back in, but not as much as there was this morning. However, there was very light volume on the pullback. So maybe the volume picks up and this keeps going. You just never know. You have to be careful. So anyways, guys, this is not advice. This is just education, just showing you those patterns that happen over and over and wanting you guys to be able to see that. There's so much more that I teach through my DVD that's available on Amazon and different mentorships. But hopefully you can see this and see that, oh, there's a lot of volume. The stock's moving up. But you still have to be very careful because these stocks can flip-flop and go way back down. So measure risk, be careful, learn to see support and resistance, find momentum before it happens, and yeah, that's it. So thanks for checking it out. csquaredtrading.com. Chat with you guys soon.